New rules come into force today, making it tougher for kids to access social media. But pop star Rihanna is hoping to be one step ahead when it comes to her sons, 3-year-old Rizza and 2-year-old Riot. Oti, are you determined not to raise a tablet baby?
Yes, I am determined not to raise a tablet. But I also hate it when rich, famous billionaires tell other people what to do with their children because it is very expensive. People have things to do. Childcare is very expensive. And sometimes a little Miss Rachel helps a mom who maybe even needs 2 minutes.
Miss Rachel? I miss Miss Rachel.
Miss Rachel is the Globe's nanny.
OK.
Yeah, so
right,
she is on YouTube. And basically, we let our daughter only watch Miss Rachel and about 7 minutes. And she's learned colours. She's 18 months. She can count up to 10. She can now form sentences. And it really, really helps her and helps us as well. But we don't let her watch other things. Like, we don't watch Cocomelon, we don't watch Bluey. We took her to a Cocomelon theatre show, and she looked at it for 1 hour like this. And she turned and went, Mama. Mama, what's it? So we don't let her watch, but it is...
She's 2, yeah?
She's two, and, well, nearly. But it is difficult to kind of be able to do everything right at the same time. And I think when you're home, it's nice to be outside. It's better for them to be outside. But if you're, like, on a 10-hour flight somewhere, you need some sort of entertainment. Play-Doh can only last that long.
Or you've done a 10-hour night shift and you're in and there's nowhere and you have to... But this is the World Health Organization. Children under 2 should have no screen time at all, is their advice. 2 to 5, no more than 1 hour of screen time a day. 6 to 8, educational purposes and supervised recreational use only. And 9 to 12, more independence, but with parental controls. So, I mean, like, the official guidelines are pretty blooming strict, aren't they? We had this with television, didn't they? I mean, obviously, my kids are older, but, I mean, it was television is going to rot their brain, I mean, obviously it's an issue, and I know you feel strongly about it, Manny, but we get fixated on one element of childhood, and it's there, and we have to sort of think, right, OK, how do we incorporate this into our lives and our children's lives without causing too much damage? But saying to people, no tablets, no phones, it just feels a bit King Canute now, don't you think?
Look, I get the whole point of, you know, when you're mentioning TV, there's always something that each generation has to struggle with, but this is different because we have seen changing the programming of our children's brains. So think of the most addictive thing. We are giving it to our child, and we've got no idea what the effects are going to look like. These kids are digital natives. They're living in a technological landscape that we don't ourselves. We've never traversed it. You know, we remember when it was first introduced. They have only known it, and so they can run circles around us.
So what do you do with Apollo? He's 5.
I'm not giving him a tablet. I mean, on a plane, I get it. But I would like to think I'm going to hold back as much as I possibly can.
Right.
But that's
television?
We're not really that way.
Right? They're not interested.
But well, look, I understand why, you know, families, as you rightly pointed out, you don't know what someone's circumstance looks like. But what the best thing would be in this scenario is to be able to give guidance rather than just chastise everyone. You know, you don't know what a family scenario is or what their setup might be, but if you can give them the tools to be able to help their children through it. Like, you could ban iPads tomorrow, but then the schools give them. They learn on iPads. So why don't we actually work together with them and say, look, this is what you can use, this is your time requirements. A lot of parents don't know what's on their children's phones. A lot of children are very guarded as a result to what's on their phones. Communication is key.
Do you know what are on your kids' phones?
I'd like to think I do, and I'd like to think the communication's there, but as we've seen, you know, there's been a lot of programmes that have rightly scared parents with adolescents, for example. They then suddenly think, right, there's an emoji code I need to crack, and once I know that, and if they're not on their phone by 2 a.m, we're fine. But it's not the time that they're on it until. It's what they're viewing, what they've got access to, what people are sending to them, who they're speaking to. It's about actually giving them the tools to navigate it safely and to not give them this immediate reward that keeps them digging in. I mean, I get addicted to my phone. And I know that I need to monitor myself on it. So how much more a child who doesn't know what those data are?
How much did you police it, Nadia?
Oh, I've been terrible. I just couldn't have coped with being a mum if I hadn't have put them in front of Snow White 5,000 times, and I just couldn't. And, like, you know, if I could you know, shove my phone and give them something to look at the lights room. I did that. Now, it's not perfect. It's definitely not. Most of what I did wasn't perfect. But when I look back at my motherhooding, I was really just trying to survive. I'm not kidding. Yeah. And I'm not a very driven, organised person. So, and you know what? I can sometimes see how those films that my kids watch over and over again have played a big part in their creativity now. So it's not all bad. Yeah. But I do think we've just got to be way more aware. Phone. Yeah, they weren't on the phone all the time. Yeah. But I didn't have the phone then, so I can't put my hand on my heart and say that I would have. Yeah. The best thing in the world is for us to be out in nature and knitting our own cheese and everything. But you know, when the pressure's on, it's really, really hard.
Of all the things you could have mentioned, making your own cheese. So that was...
cheese and butter.